Testing 1, 2, 3. Looking good, looking good. Let's go live. Hey friends, we're gonna kick this off in just a moment. I'm pulling up my comments so that you can talk to me. And we're gonna have a great chat today. Today's a weird day. I have an itch in my nose. Okay, here we go. Find posts. Great. Okay, that should do the trick. Let's turn it on. And there they are. My comments have arrived. Hello, Marcus. Hello, Mom. And to all the mothers out there who are watching or watching in the replay, happy Mother's Day. Just a day late. Okay, let's kick this off. Hello, friends. My name is Lynn. I am here to share with you our update about our fostering journey. I am trying really hard to make this the last official episode of Baby Talk, and then hopefully we will. I don't know. I guess I've been a little superstitious, like changing the name of the channel until we're officially licensed to foster. Maybe that's a good name, licensed to foster. I'm not sure. I'll work on it. Anyway, my name's Lynn Clementi Hicks. I go live every Monday to share our story about how we're growing our family. And right now, the big thing we're going through is becoming foster parents. This is a big week, guys. This is the week we actually get our license, if everything goes well. We have been preparing for this for months and months. And in the past 2 weeks, we've been every single day working towards our final walkthrough. We had originally planned on just taking one foster child, and after all the training and everything, we've learned we actually want to be open to taking siblings, which means we need to have more than one room ready. So we not only made one bedroom, but we also kicked Bert out of the office that he had been using and turned that into a second bedroom. I'm going to tell you today a little bit about what we did, and then I'm going to give some huge shout outs to some really supportive people over the past week. I'm going to share with you some social things that have been going on, and we're going to talk about that. And maybe you can help me feel not as awkward and weird about how I feel after big social events. And I honestly can't remember if I've always been like this or if it's just been something that's developed in my adult years. So let's get it going. Hello, Dad. Thank you. It was my birthday on Saturday 2 days ago. We'll be chatting about that a little bit today. Oh, CK, hello. I am so glad that you're here. It's a big special episode, so this is a great one to catch. I'm glad that you made it. And Bert, thanks. Thanks for saying hi, even though you're just on the other side of this wall. I guess, aren't you all just on the other side of this wall? This screen? Okay, I'm being weird. Okay, so since last Monday, Bert and I sat down after the live stream on Monday last week, sat down and had dinner, and we made a list of all the things that we need to get done. And then we went and we assigned which days that we would be doing those things. This was accountability. This was planning. This is also to show us we can't take a night off to just take it easy because there's too much to do. So we were on top of it as a team. One of the big things we had to prepare for last week was Cinco de Mayo. And while this is not traditionally a holiday that I normally celebrate in my home, I was invited to be a host for Mexican bingo at a bar. And I killed it. I nailed it, guys. I did awesome. What does this mean, Lynn? What did you do? What is Mexican bingo? Well, I'll tell you. It is like bingo, And because we ran bingo for, a couple of years now, they thought, oh, no problem. It'll be an easy transition. Well, it's a totally different game, played a totally different way. And when you're trying to entertain between 100 and 200 people, you got to kind of come up with how you're going to do that in person. Found a great way to play the game so that everyone can do it from their phones. And I went and I did a tech check at the bar, made sure that I could put up the information on the screens around the bar. On the day of, I was literally shaking right before I was, set to go and present this. And then as soon as I said the first sentence and could feel the crowd listening and feel the crowd responding, I was fine. I was fine. And why was I so nervous? Because I had to say all these words in Spanish. And as you guys know, I've been learning Spanish on Duolingo. But do I feel super confident saying it in front of 160 people? No. But I did it anyway. And I got cheered on. And I learned, guys, being confident, sometimes you got to fake it till you make it. And that's all you can do. So I'm proud to say it was an awesome event. The manager of the bar was so happy. He's like, maybe we might need to do this again, not just on Cinco de Mayo. Yeah, it was just, everyone had such a good time. It was very simple, easy to execute. Bert was there. He was my co-host. And usually we have some sort of banter going on, but this was actually kind of a one-person show. And then he was the support to help hand out the prizes, kind of keep me on track. And I seriously couldn't have done it without him. He kind of feels like he didn't need to be there, but he did. He really needed him there. So, yes, high five for that one. That was an exciting night, and it was, it was a 3-hour event. I was there about an hour early to, get prepared and everything, but it felt like a long night, and we left even a little bit early, and I'm just exhausted afterwards. And you guys, the other weird, intimidating thing about all this is I think maybe I had an awareness of the age difference between the attendees of the party and my age. Now, I felt fine. I know my skills. I know that I can present bingo, and I know I can be an engaging host. But it is weird, a little, that I'm possibly, 10, 15 years older than all the people attending the party. But it was okay. I was cool. I was totally cool. Okay. Anyways, so that went great. And then we had, that was Thursday. Friday, we had to prepare for Saturday. Saturday was my actual birthday. It has been cold in Chicago since last year in August. So guys, I got so lucky. The weather finally broke, and on Saturday it was sunny in Chicago. It was warm. And while the kickball diamond wasn't dry enough for us to play, we still had a great time in our backyard playing backyard games. So that was great. CK, thank you for saying this. This is going to actually kind of be today's theme, social events and recharging and stuff. I'm really glad you said this because, yeah, my eye is still twitching from all the social interactions. I thought it was gonna go away after bingo happened, be okay, that was the hard part. Now I can just calm down and the rest of it's gonna be easy. We have our task list. Oh no, not quite. So although I had an absolute blast with all my friends on Saturday, and I had my family there, I had my nephews, my friends came, it was just all of, this love and support and good people. And of course, not everybody that I would have liked to be there could make it, but the people that came were awesome. I was just so happy. I couldn't have been happier. And then the people that couldn't come, it was just nice. They sent me text messages. It was, I'm a horrible person for sending messages to people on their birthdays. And then I, get this love from people, and then I'm like, shoot, I'm a bad friend. I shouldn't be so judgmental. I know everyone's got their own things. But anyway, I felt extremely loved and supported. And during the entire event, I felt fine. People left at a reasonable hour because we started so early in the day. Bert and I did our whole wind down thing at night, where we just kind of chill and we go to bed. And I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I had so much fun. I was running around. It was great. But I couldn't sleep because all I kept doing in my head was replaying certain interactions with people from the party and thinking, oh shoot, I should have talked to that person more because I really wanted to take this opportunity to catch up with them. And I was too, busy. I was doing that instead. I was talking to that person, or I talked to these people, and I should have done that, and I was kind of like shooting on myself. It was horrible because I couldn't stop those like replays going on. And the funny thing is I tell this to Bert. I tell him, I couldn't remember if I told him that night or in the morning. I said, this is what I'm going through. This is what I'm dealing with. He's like, oh my God, that's so funny. Because two of the people at my party, Bert actually heard them having a conversation about this exact same thing. How they love being around all these people and they love doing these things, but that they're going to go home and just replay all those social interactions, back and feel awkward about what they said, or feel like it was, should they have said something different? Oh my God, Amy does the replays too. Okay. Okay. I am so glad I'm not alone. And hopefully this is going to help anyone who's watching not feel so alone either. But you guys, it can get bad. It's like it's so unreasonable, the things that you're thinking you should have done differently. So here's how I dealt with it. I called a social hangover. So on Sunday after the party, and I hadn't slept well, so I'm already just a little bit tired. But Sunday was the day we had set aside to have my parents come over and set up the rooms and everything. So I'm like, okay, at some point today, I just want to send text messages to the friends that came to the party and thank them for being there. Let them know that it meant a lot. So there was like one person in particular that I felt that I had, I don't know, like that was the one that I was focused on. Like that was the one that I should have talked more to. And I sent him a message and I said, I'm so glad you came. I really wish we had got more time to talk. And I said, you're good people and I want to get to know you more. Cause this is someone that I play a sport with and we haven't really hung out in social situations, I guess, outside of that sport. And he came to this party with no one else from the team there other than me and Bert and still hung out. And like, to me, that was super brave. And I'm like, that was, am I a bad hostess for not like introducing him to other people, and replaying it all back right now. Like I did, he got involved and he did. Here's where I'm getting at, guys. His response to me made all of this worry so obvious how ridiculous it is, because he said, I had such a good time. I'm sorry I was such a wallflower. That's just how I am. But I want you to know I had a really good time. Now, nothing in my message said, hey, you were a loner. Sorry I left you alone. Or, sorry you didn't get along with anybody. But he probably has his own thing, like how he came. He was brave. He might have stepped into some uncomfortable social situation, and here I am just like thinking about how I think I have some sort of control over other people's experiences. I don't, and you don't either. And that's the thing, is like somehow we have to try and let go of this. Anyway, I'm gonna hit up your comments here because I think you guys might be relating to this a little bit. And my mom's saying, it can be very hard to socialize when it's a big party, and this is why she prefers smaller gatherings. Yes, so I thrive in smaller gatherings too. I have learned that like game nights are great, when you've got 5 or 6 people together max, because then you can talk to everybody and everyone has a chance to kind of work around the group instead of like having these regrets. Oh, I didn't get a chance to talk to so and so, or oh, I got stuck talking to this person when I wanted to be over there doing that. I mean, I don't think I would ever feel stuck in a conversation. I'd be like, I gotta go now. But anyway, my dad, he's saying, you can blame your parents. It's genes. We're not particularly comfortable in large crowds either. Well, no, I don't think it's genes. I think that this is I truly think that this is something that comes with personality types. I think that it comes with us all coming out of a pandemic and having, kind of a 2 years where we were not regularly socializing in large settings. And so I think this is something that's kind of just naturally, kind of developed as a more recent thing. Because I don't remember this being this bad when I was younger, though it might have been and I just don't remember it. Elliot is saying social hangover is real. A day after a day or of socializing, you need to be alone for the next day. Yes, yes, yes. I feel this too. Like it's so much energy. And there's other people that get charged up after all that, right? They say, now, supposedly I'm an extrovert. And extroverts are supposed to get energy from crowds and everything. And I do in the moment. But like, yeah, this afterwards thing is like no joke. So I actually don't really like the whole E and I thing, like saying, oh, I'm this or that. I think that we can all have all of these things and appreciate that it can be very exhausting to be in social situations. Yeah. Laura is saying, I totally get it. I'm the same way. I love having people over, but sometimes the smaller the better. And I don't have to worry if someone didn't have a good time or thought I was rude. There you go. This is exactly what I'm saying. Yes, Laura, exactly that. Sometimes I wonder that too. I'm like, was I rude? And you could ask Bert after every situation. I ask him for like feedback. I'm like, did I do that okay? Was I too this or too that? And I think he's kind of got like this default, like, no, babe, you're fine. Like he's very quick to shut that down, not in a dismissive way, but just like, I don't know, an encouraging way, I guess. Yeah. And sorry, this comment came through a little bit ago, but you fake it so well, you look totally in control all day Saturday. So yeah, like in the moment on Saturday, I truly was fine. I can't think of a single time on Saturday I was like, oh my God, this is overwhelming. I wish all these people would leave. I loved that everyone was there, and I loved every minute of Saturday, every minute. It was a wonderful day. I hope I remember it like as clearly as I do now for a very long time, because it just was the best. It was the best. So let's talk about, okay, so that's good. And if any of you guys want to, chip in any more about this topic, please feel free to. I think it's, okay, we can all kind of agree here, like, it's a thing. It's a thing, and it's normal, and maybe it kind of helps that we all go home and we feel a little bit weird about social interactions. And just remember, you can only control yourself, and even sometimes at that, you can't control yourself, right? Okay. So one more last thing about this, because of course I think about my live streams sometimes and how I knew I wanted to talk about this today. And I'm like, is this why I like live streaming? Because it feels like I'm sometimes just talking to, like, I know you're all real people and you're all listening, but there's some weird, like, something about this where I don't replay what I'm saying later very often at all. Like, I come on here, I'm vulnerable, and I share everything, and then I turn it off and I go have dinner with Bert, and then we just carry on. Like, there's not man, why did I say that on the live stream? Isn't that interesting? It's weird. And I say more here than I would one-on-one with people in most situations. Okay, so Sunday, Mom and Dad, my mama. First of all, fun fact, Mother's Day was Sunday. My birthday was Saturday. This magical weekend where I was the firstborn for my mom, I was her Mother's Day gift. Thank you very much. That happened the year I was born. So I was born the day before Mother's Day in 1983. Okay. So it's very special that this happens, only a few times in my life. So it felt very meaningful because Bert and I are so close to locking in this whole foster parent thing, right? To maybe becoming my own version of a mother. It is... it is very, it felt very special. So I was so lucky because my mom actually decided to spend Mother's Day with me, her favorite, JK. She came to help set up the foster rooms with my dad. So it was me, Mom, Dad, and Bert. They got here nice and early. They started cleaning things. Bert and I had to go do some other stuff. We left them. We came back. They already had most of the bunk bed assembled. They were like, okay, what can we do next? We worked really great as a team. There was a lot of joking around and a lot of, joshing each other, giving each other a hard time. And, but it was like pure love, and it was just wonderful. big changes like that for me are not always easy. Bert and I had to clear out those rooms, and we had to go through a lot of old stuff that when you pick up old things, you kind of remember things that you don't always recall, like you remember, you have to have that object in your hand to be like, oh yeah, I remember this moment where I got this, or what this item represents to me. And the thing is I have a lot of books, and those books do that for me. But I'm never going to pick up those books and read them again, and I don't need an entire library of things to remind me of those memories. So I had to do some purging last week, and it was hard, to say the least. It felt like I was letting go of parts of myself. It's way too emotional, to get over books. But I did that, and you can imagine just, with that description, trying to put together rooms, with your parents and your significant other, it could be scary, but it actually went great. And I'm so thankful for that. So we got the beds set up, we got things cleared out. Mom and Dad actually, they got down on their hands and knees, they were dusting, they were wiping the floor, they were vacuuming, everything was clean. We got all the new stuff set up. We had a wonderful, amazing friends who donated dressers, nightstands, beds, everything. We didn't have to buy anything until just the only thing we had to do after Mom and Dad left and we had all the furniture in place. We had to go and get bedding, like the actual sheets, towels for the kids, like fresh towels. So Bert and I went on a run to Target and found the aisle. We're like, okay, well, let's agree this. Let's not spend a lot of money, because just in case, I don't know. We don't know what our plan is, if we're just going to get new sheets every time we get a new kid, or, what if they get damaged or whatever. So let's just get, basic sheets, have embedding. So we got fresh, even though we have so many blankets in this house, we still got fresh blankets. So we ended up getting very simple colors, blue and greens. And I was freaking out. I'm like, I'm designing a kid's room. This is something I've probably always dreamed of. It's like putting together a nursery and designing it and picking out all the, everything. But also in my head, I'm like, keep it simple so that the kid can personalize it and make it their own when they come. So it was like finding a nice balance between making it look like a room that is very welcoming and exciting, but also a room that is easy for them to put their own touch on. And also keeping it gender neutral and, making it so that it has staying power too. So I am so proud we were able to use our posters that we already had in the room of the national parks. And between the two rooms, we have those on the walls. And then with the blues and the greens, it looks amazing. It came out so good. And I was like, wow, it looks like we spent a lot of time actually planning this, when in the store I was like, oh God, I'm going to regret these colors. I'm going to want to return this. See, guys, I do so much damage, to myself with worry. It's way too much worry. Okay, you guys have some awesome comments here. The magic of streaming, yes. This magical thing that lets me just pour it all out. Okay, and all the love. Thanks, guys. Yes. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. And my mom is awesome. Thanks, CK. We had a lot of eye rolling on Sunday, that's for sure. But that goes with all the love. Amy, if you would like to come over and go through all the books we're going to donate, please do, because there's a lot of them. All sorts of kinds. And yes, it is so hard to get rid of books. And I keep thinking, I'm like, well, first of all, we meant to put them out for the party and then tell everybody, please just take a book on your way out. But we forgot. My sister has an entire library of books in her basement, because she's a reading teacher, so she's a book collector. So I'm like, maybe I can pawn these off on her. They're not exactly that level. Then I'm like, well, maybe we can make a little, book library in the, to put out in the front yard, and people can just take them. We can just keep stocking them. People take them. I think I just need to donate them all. But then, guys, I had this idea. So our street name is Keating. And then I was like, maybe we can make a little neighborhood book swap and call it Reading on Keating. Do you like it? I thought it would be a cute way to meet my neighbors more, too. Hi, Kim. And hi, Laura. Thanks so much for joining. So that was yesterday. Super happy with how everything turned out. I feel ready. Like literally, if the walkthrough had to happen today, I would be like, yeah, come on in. The only thing we have left to do is there's some paperwork. So we could wait until the day of to do the paperwork, but she sent it in advance so that we can look it over and possibly complete it, before she comes. So we'll probably do that. One of the things we have to fill out in the packet is a fire escape plan, I believe. So we're supposed to know what the plan is if there's a fire, where our exits are, and then I think we're supposed to then communicate it to any foster kids that we have in the house. So, quick question for you guys in your households. In your families, in your house, do you have a fire plan? And does everyone in the house know that fire plan? Does everyone know where the fire extinguishers are? Do you have a secondary way to get out of the second story of your house if you have a second story? Things like that. Do you have this stuff just in case that ever happens? And I hope it never does. I'm just curious if this is like normal and I just didn't know it, or if this is like a really good idea that they make foster parents do that really kind of everybody should be. I don't know where we fall in there, but I'm just curious. Thanks, Mom. Love that idea. Reading on Keating. Yeah. And yes, what did I call you? I think I called you a book hoarder, didn't I? Oh, I called you a collector. I did say it the nice way, I suppose. Oh my God, Kim, when I was cleaning out my bookshelf, I'm like, this is like maybe an eighth of what you have. And I'm like, I don't know what you're ever going to do if you ever have to move or change that room. Oh my God. Okay, Marcus's plan is just get out. Okay. Amy's saying no plan. Thank goodness we never needed it. Okay. Kelly has fire extinguishers, fire blankets, and ladders for second story exit. That's amazing. So I don't think that that's the norm, but I hope it is. But nice, Kelly. That's awesome. And CK's like, yep, just jump out the window. Hopefully there's not too far of a fall. And also I hope there's no shrubs right under the windows, because that would suck. On our house, we actually have kind of a built-in exit. So we have our indoor stairs to get upstairs. And then we actually have one of the rooms exits out onto a second floor balcony, I guess, and has outdoor stairs that go back down. So we actually have a kind of a built-in escape plan. But yeah, we're lucky. We do have fire extinguishers, but I think there's probably we just have to know like what we would do in case of a fire, like, who's buddy. I don't even know if that's a thing, but yeah. Amy, I see your comment now that I'm a little out of the way for the books. Yeah, sorry. I thought about that too. Like maybe I should sell my books on eBay. I don't think it's worth it. None of these books are worth it. They're nothing special. I have some old communication arts magazines that I held on to because I just did a really fast look online. I'm like, I wonder if these are worth anything, because just to buy them new. Communication arts is like a really nice like magazine with like advertising and marketing stuff in it. And I think that there's such like a cool time capsule piece because it like tells like what the trends are, like design wise, products and everything of the time. So like I have a communication arts issue from like 1995. I think I've got a bunch of them from like throughout the years. And it's just cool to look back and be like, wow, this is really neat. And the one from 1995 actually has a whole like special issues section of like what it'll be like in the year 2025. How weird is that to think like that's only a few years away? So I was like totally distracted reading about what they thought it would be like in 2025, how we're going to be so much more green, and oh my God, like have we really come very far? No. Okay, Kim saying, I remember being worried about fires after fire safety at school one year. I kind of had trees to climb down from my childhood room. Yeah, you did. That would have been really scary though, if that had to happen. Yeah, actually, I don't know that we really would have known what to do in a fire in our old house. I don't know that we ever sat down and talked about that as a family. Oh yeah, I mean, I'll totally donate the books. That I will I'm going to either donate them to, I think Bert actually might have even found one already who we're going to give them to. There's a whole bunch of donation bins around the city. I know where one is right by my work too. Oh, thanks for this tip too. Half price books. Sweet. So you can just give it to them. Thanks for all the help, guys. You guys are awesome. Okay, Dad's saying we always said we should climb out a window to either the porch roof of the family room roof and then jump, or climb down the trees that used to be there. Yeah, okay. Well, you and Mom had that conversation. I don't remember you guys telling me, but maybe I just don't remember. I'm teasing. Okay, so we're ready. I'm feeling good. And, you know, here's the thing. People keep going, so then what? And I think you guys know, but so then what means is when she walks out, and hopefully everything is good, I assume it will be. And by she, I mean our licensing representative. She'll go and put us into the system. And then as soon as we hit the system, and she said it literally could be the same day, any foster caseworker that needs to find a home for the children they're representing could call us. Anyone from Illinois, anywhere from Illinois. So the other thing that I have, and me and Bert need to go through it, is just a list of the questions we're going to ask when and if we get a call. And those questions will probably be something like, you know, what are their ages? Do we know anything about, you know, what, if they have any special needs? Do they have any allergies to cats? Do they have any record or history of abusing animals? And then a whole bunch of other things that like are suggested questions that they gave us during training. But those are some specific ones off the top of my head, just to give you an idea. So we'll get a call, and then we're allowed to say, can I call you back? I need to talk to my husband. That's totally fine. And we call them back, and then we can get the kid within hours, or they may still need to finish doing processing on their end. So they may have the child or children at the agency, kind of hanging out there, getting processed. They may need to go to the emergency room first, or a doctor first, before they come to us. So there are anywhere between, thank you, Marcus, anywhere between a few hours to even a couple of days. So we have an action plan, or we're working on an action plan tonight and tomorrow, so that when we get the call, if we have a very small amount of time, that we are able to call a few friends to help us kind of like get a few things that we need in place for the age of the children that we're expecting. And that may include, you know, just some outfits for them, some toiletries, some food. Oh, one of the questions we'll ask is, are they bringing anything? Are they coming with anything? Are there things that they need? So I feel very, very prepared and organized. Of course, there's still more that I want to do, but I think if we had to take a child right now, we would be ready. Yeah, I climbed in the tree outside my room, or maybe a boyfriend or two did, escaping my room. No, maybe just one. Will they bring the kids to you, or do you have to pick them up anywhere in Illinois? Yeah, so the children will be brought to us. I think the only exceptions to this that I've heard are like if foster parents are accepting are taking a baby, they may go to the hospital to receive the baby there. But we're not accepting babies right now. We're going to be able to limit our age range. Bert and I are somewhere around like the 4 or 5 or 6 as the minimum age, and then 11, 12, or 13 as the maximum age. And our hope is that, you know, that's wide enough where we can take some siblings. But also I think the challenge of very small kids right now, and babies is not something we want to sign up for right away. And then also the challenge of teenagers just seemed a little bit too much for our first placement, first child. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully the kids will get reunified, and maybe on our next, when we are open to taking more children, again, we can expand the age range if we feel like we need to. Okay, CK, this is a great question. So we have two cats. One of them is terrified. You would think we only have one because the other one is terrified of other people other than me and Bert. And it, like one or two of our like very specific friends that I swear are cat whisperers. So Alex will always hide. I don't know if she'll ever come out for the foster kids. I'd like to think she will. Joe loves everybody. Joe the cat. However, on Saturday we had a few little ones over. I'm talking like age 3 and under. Joe is not quite sure what to do with children this age. I don't know because I don't think we've ever introduced him to any children in between the age of like 3 and adult. So I don't know how he'd be with like a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old. I really hope that, he warms up to them because he has just like this very, I don't know, he's a very calming cat, like he's fun and playful and sweet, and he just kind of makes you feel better when you're feeling bad. So I don't know. The cats are like definitely sniffing out the new rooms. We'll see. We shall see. So guys, I'm going to wrap this up in a few. Let's do a quick check-in. What's going on in your worlds? What'd you do for Mother's Day? Did you have a great weekend? Is the weather warming up by you like it is here? I feel like I'm in such a good mood because the weather today finally hit 80 and I just was like, yes! So happy about it. Do you have any big things coming up this week? Are there any weird things that are stressing you out that you probably just need a little encouragement from me or other people watching to say, don't let that stress you out. That's not something to worry about. Been any big successes or things we should celebrate, or things that you're struggling with or things that you need a little support with. CK, shush. 80 degrees is amazing. It's so nice. And you see I have a little bit of color in my cheeks because I love the sunshine. Though I burnt my lips and my lips hurt. Ooh, Elliot, you are just always crushing it with the rower. 45 minutes on the rower and 80 degrees was not as fun as I thought. Yeah, you got to do that shirtless or something, I think. So, oh yeah, that's going to really suck in the hot weather. It's like doing like, what's the hot yoga? Oh, too sweaty. Oh, Amy, I'm glad to hear this. Bilateral mastectomy. Oh my gosh, I am so glad you're doing well. That's great. I'm really glad you're recovering. Congratulations. That's really great. That's really nice to hear. What a relief. Laura flew into Florida and surprised mom and sister for a few days. That's always fun. Oh my gosh. How fun is that to have someone that you love show up on your doorstep and just be like, surprise. I've done that to my parents recently in the past few years. I did that to them once and surprised them. Mom's hosting book club tomorrow. I'm doing it outside because it's so nice. There you go. Really wonderful. But yeah, Bikram yoga. I think that's what I was trying to say. You got it. So it's like Bikram rowing for Elliot. Oh, great question on this one too. Man, CK, you're crushing it with the questions there. You should be my interviewer. No, I think that I'm going to continue to stream. So the question is, will I take a break once we get kids in the house? And I think it's really important to keep streaming to let you guys know how it is because it's therapeutic for me. And obviously, you guys have been so supportive and kind of engaged with the story that we're going through. So, yeah. I plan to keep showing up. I'm going to show up. And if I can't, I'll let you know. Oh, Dad, I bet you're sore from yesterday, too. Started some gardening today and power washed the patio. I'm tired and sore. That's a lot of work, but a perfect day to do it. I almost wish I could play hooky and just do gardening and work. I have to say one last little story from the bunk bed that we got as a hand-me-down. And that's probably... over 30 years old, or around 30 years old. And it's in great shape, except that, like the plastic end caps that go on like parts of the bed, plastic breaks over years. So they cracked and they weren't there. And my parents were like, just be careful. These parts are sharp, come up with something. So I think I came up with something and thank goodness because I banged my shin so bad yesterday. Yeah, it's like a little dent in my leg because I bumped my shin so hard. And then I think I got my head later on, but not as hard as my shin. So I was like, we have to fix these because they're very dangerous. I was thinking tennis balls. So I think I might take some old tennis balls and cut them to fit and then stick them up there, maybe even like put some super glue. Might paint them so that they're not bright yellow, but that's my idea to fix it because you can't hurt yourself on tennis balls. At least I think you can't. Yeah, Laura, ouch indeed. Ouch indeed. Oh my goodness. Well, guys, thank you so much for sharing with me and hanging out and asking great questions and being so supportive as usual. I'm going to sign off. This may be the last episode of Baby Talk ever, and next week maybe it'll be, I don't know, Life with Lynn or License to Parent, something like that. I'm not sure. Anyway, thank you for hanging out, and I can't wait to see you next Monday, and we'll see what kind of big updates we've got. Or none at all. All right. I'll see you later, guys. Bye. Bye. The tennis balls with the bingo numbers. Yeah, absolutely. You like that, CK? License to Parent. Love you guys. Thanks for watching.